The WWE Universe has seen shocks before. We've seen returns that made arenas shake, betrayals that broke our hearts, and debuts that left fans speechless. But nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared the world for this. Out of nowhere, the daughter of Hollywood action legend Steven Seagal, Arissa LeBrock, walked into WWE, and in one unforgettable night, she became the most shocking new superstar in the women's division. The crowd didn't just react, they erupted. Social media didn't just talk, it exploded. And from that very moment, the future of WWE's women's evolution was changed forever. For years, WWE has thrived on shock value. It's what makes wrestling magical. The unpredictability, the moments that no one sees coming. When AJ Styles debuted at the Royal Rumble. When Brock Lesnar returned to confront John Cena. When Ronda Rousey made her first appearance and changed the women's game forever. These are the moments fans talk about for decades. But Arissa LeBrock's debut was different. It wasn't just a surprise, it was the collision of two worlds. Hollywood's fighting legacy crashing head-on with WWE's women's revolution, and the result? Shockwaves. The story of Arissa LeBrock is unlike anyone else's in WWE, born into fame but shaped by combat. On one side, her father, Steven Seagal, one of the most iconic action stars of the 80s and 90s, a man whose very name still carries the aura of martial arts mastery. On the other side, her mother, Kelly LeBrock, a Hollywood actress and model who defined beauty and elegance for a generation. Most celebrity kids take the easy road, acting, modeling, socialite fame. But not Arissa. From a young age, she chose to fight. She trained in martial arts, carved her body into a weapon, and instead of walking into red carpets, she walked into gyms, dojos, and training camps. She was never chasing paparazzi cameras. She was chasing combat. That's why when she appeared in WWE, it didn't feel like a gimmick. It didn't feel like a stunt. It felt real. And that realness is what electrified the WWE Universe. Picture the scene. A Monday Night Raw episode that felt routine, the arena buzzing, the crowd chanting, waiting for the next big moment. Suddenly, the lights go black. A new theme song, mysterious and cinematic, hits the speakers. At first, nobody knows what's happening. Then the Titantron lights up with a single name, LeBrock. The crowd gasps. The commentary team nearly chokes on their words. And then, she walks out. Arissa LeBrock. Tall, powerful, commanding, with the confidence of someone who knows exactly who she is. The arena erupts. Some fans cheer wildly, others are stunned into silence. The reaction is confusion, awe, and pure adrenaline all at once. WWE has delivered surprises before, but this is different. Because this isn't just a wrestler making her debut. This is Steven Seagal's daughter walking into WWE, and she doesn't waste time. She doesn't wave politely. She doesn't soak it in for too long. She storms straight to the ring. And standing there, waiting, is none other than Rhea Ripley, the most dominant force in the women's division. A woman who has bulldozed her way through champions, legends, and fan favorites. The kind of champion who makes people think twice before stepping in her shadow. But Arissa? She doesn't flinch. She marches right up to Ripley, stares her dead in the eyes, and the entire arena feels like it might collapse under the tension. Ripley smirks. That trademark I don't care attitude. But there's something in her body language, a flicker of surprise, maybe even respect, because she knows, just as the fans know, that this is no ordinary rookie. This is someone who carries not just a name, but an aura. The stare-down lasts seconds, but it feels like an eternity. The commentators scream, the fans lose their minds. Social media instantly is on fire. Within minutes, Arissa LeBrock is trending worldwide. Clips of her face-off with Rhea Ripley flood TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Memes are born, predictions explode. Some fans declare her the next women's champion. Others scoff, calling it a gimmick. But everyone is talking. And in WWE, that's all that matters. But why does this moment matter so much? To answer that, you need to understand WWE's women's evolution. For decades, women in WWE were treated like sideshows. The Divas era reduced them to eye candy, their matches short, their potential wasted. But slowly, things began to change. Trish Stratus and Lita broke barriers. Mickie James brought intensity. Then came the Four Horsewomen, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley, who didn't just raise the bar, they tore it down and built a new one. Women went from bathroom break matches to stealing the show, from divas to superstars. WrestleMania main events followed. Legends were made. Respect was earned. Now imagine standing at the tail end of that revolution, only to see someone like Arissa LeBrock walk in from outside the wrestling bubble and immediately command the spotlight. That's why the reaction is so divided. On one hand, fans love the shock. They love seeing someone new, someone unexpected, someone with the aura of a Hollywood warrior. On the other hand, some fans, and even some wrestlers, feel protective of the women's division. They've fought for years to build it into what it is today. And here comes Arissa, instantly jumping the line. Backstage, the reactions were just as dramatic. Reports say Charlotte Flair, the queen herself, made it clear, if she's here to stay, the entire division needs to step up. Becky Lynch, never shy with words, told an interviewer, "Celebrity bloodlines don't win you championships." Bianca Belair smirked on Twitter, posting, "New face, same EST." And yet, behind all the bravado, there was something else. Unease. Because they all knew this wasn't a stunt. This wasn't a one-off. This was real competition. And that's why the possibilities became endless overnight. Fans began fantasy booking immediately. Arissa versus Charlotte Flair, wrestling royalty versus Hollywood royalty. Arissa versus Bianca Belair, the EST versus the legacy. Arissa versus Becky Lynch, the man versus the newcomer. And of course, Arissa versus Rhea Ripley, power versus power, dominance versus dominance. These matches didn't just sound exciting, they sounded like WrestleMania main events. But there's a question that hangs over all of this. Can she actually deliver? Because in WWE, hype only takes you so far. We've seen names walk in with buzz, only to fizzle out under the pressure. The women's division is stacked with killers, with athletes who've clawed their way to the top through years of hard work. Will Arissa survive that grind? Some fans believe she will. They point to her martial arts background, her discipline, her aura. They argue that she isn't just another celebrity experiment. She's the real deal. Others remain skeptical. They argue that WWE isn't about who your father is, it's about what you can do when the bell rings. And maybe that's why this story has captivated the wrestling world so much. Because it's not predictable, it's not guaranteed, it's a question mark. And in a world where fans think they know everything, a question mark is priceless. As weeks pass, the hype doesn't die down. Every time Arissa appears, the crowds roar. Every time she posts online, fans flood the comments. Every superstar she interacts with instantly feels elevated. WWE hasn't just signed a new wrestler, they've lit a fire. And whether that fire burns bright or burns out, it's already changed the landscape. Because in one shocking night, Arissa LeBrock went from being Steven Seagal's daughter to WWE's most shocking new superstar. And the truth is, we've only seen the beginning. The women's division has been shaken, the veterans are on edge, the fans are divided, and the road ahead is filled with battles that could define an era. So now the question goes to you. Will Arissa LeBrock rise to become the face of WWE's women's evolution, lifting championship gold, headlining WrestleMania, and carrying the division into a new era? Or will she crash and burn, remembered only as a shocking debut that faded into nothing? One way or another, the WWE Universe will never forget the night she arrived. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what she wanted.